gathered together in this place. Why are we here? What is our purpose? What is it clear? How do we know what's true and what's real? We may not know where life's road will lead. It doesn't matter as long as we believe that God is the answer. God is the answer. God is the answer to whatever the question may be. What's going on in this world today? Where do we fit in? What can we do to make a difference? What can we say? Where do we go? This way or that way? But if we all pray, truly believe, and love one another, we can let the world see that God is the answer. God is the answer. God is the answer to whatever the question might be.
Teresa James, everyone. Dr. Maureen, where's all our practitioners today? We have a practitioner meeting after the service today. So welcome to all of you joining us online. Welcome to all of you joining us here in the house. So if you're online, well, even if you're in here, my name's Reverend Dr. Mike McMorrow. I'm the senior minister here at the Center for Spiritual Living. We're in Granada Hills, California. We're located in the North San Fernando Valley, a faith community where we welcome all who practice their beliefs in faith and love. And so we're delighted to have you here with us today. And if this is your first time visiting the channel, please hit subscribe and you'll get notified when we are on Wednesdays and Sundays. So our music inspiration today is the wonderful Teresa James. And our presider for the day is Ms. Ginny Fox, who is also our Director of Youth Education. So she's usually in the back, so we get to have her out front today. So let's welcome her as well, shall we? All right, so let's bring down the lights. Take a breath and allow yourself to feel the exhale as we anchor into this moment, this eternal now moment, as we come together for our call to service, which we call lighting the flames of faith. And we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples, all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call spirit. And fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here this morning. So as Ginny lights the first candle, it's for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. The fifth candle we light for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. The sixth candle we light for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. The seventh candle we light for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. The eighth candle we light for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. And the 10th candle we light for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, for the space we hold for them here in our sanctuary, within our online community, and of course within our own hearts. Now, as Ginny lights the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone you wish to have experience the healing flame of God's eternal love.
There is one flame that burns in our hearts. There is one light that shines through our love. We've this flame with faith. We find this light within our own soul. There is one flame, one light within.
And as we go within to that sacred place, I invite you to close your eyes, take a breath, and I am so grateful to be here with all of you, knowing there is one flame, there's one light, there's one power. This power is understanding, forgiveness, love, healing power. It is everywhere all at once. There is nowhere this power is not. And I know that I am the individual expression of this greater power. And this power runs through me as me with healing power and understanding. And so I know today that this service is unfolding exactly as it should. That each and every person here and online are taking away with them what they need to hear, what they need to have their soul grow and move forward. And they're letting go of anything that doesn't serve them. And so now I'm very thankful for Reverend Mike and for Mike and Ian and Evan and Teresa and this loving, wonderful community. And so I just let it go, and I release my word to the law that always says yes, yes, my beloved, and knows exactly what to do. As together we say, and so it is. Good morning, beloved community and everybody online. My name is Ginny Fox, and I am a practitioner here. So the month of November to me is a month of gratitude. We have gratitude bags in the Sparks Hall. And it's easy to be grateful when the sun is shining and everything's going great. And that, that one friend remembers your birthday and calls you up and says, happy birthday. That's great. But it's a little bit sticky when things aren't going so well. when you have a day where your computer goes down and you have a project to do and just things are not working in your life. So I want to talk about gratitude today, and it's not always easy. I'm talking about, that deep soul gratitude that stretches our spirituality, that shows up even when we'd rather roll our eyes and put a blanket over our head, go back to sleep, So right along with that comes another second spiritual challenge. And that's our theme for this month, loving the unlikable, okay? Because let's be honest, there's always that someone who seems to have been placed in our lives specifically to test our spiritual practice. So that's what I want to talk about today. Okay, 2001, yes, that far back. I was going through a divorce, and I had a family member who said some not good things to my son, who was only 8 or 9 years old. And I was very upset. And I couldn't forgive her. I went to a metta retreat at Spirit Rock, and metta is when you give love to yourself, to somebody else, to a neutral person, and then you give love to a person who challenges you or you're having trouble with. Well, I couldn't forgive her. I couldn't do it. And I talked to the director, I talked to the leader of the retreat, and he said, put this person in a little box in your brain, and then visit that box every so often and see if you're ready to forgive. Skip ahead, 2025. So we have a class, self-mastery, and Reverend Nancy was doing a meditation, and at the end, she talked about forgiveness. And all of a sudden, wow, I went into that box, and I went, what am I doing? Why am I holding on to this? Release. And when I told Andrea afterwards, she said, you didn't release that person. You released yourself. And that's what it does. It gives you freedom. And so Ernest Holmes wrote, love points the way and law makes it possible. And I put it into the law a while ago. But it didn't happen in my time. It happened in God's time. When we choose gratitude, we choose forgiveness. We're not pretending that everything's okay. I'm not condoning what happened. I'm simply choosing to see the divine presence within everything and everyone. Even the folks that make a sigh and go, Lord, give me strength. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, cultivate the habit of being grateful for everything that comes to you. He didn't say, only give thanks when people are behaving well, okay? He said continuously. When we practice gratitude, we train our spiritual sight to look beyond appearances. Gratitude said, there's something for me to learn here. And we look for the sacredness. And finding love, even for the unlikable, is how we find that sacred place. So you see, gratitude softens the heart and love opens, and the combination is powerful. So let's keep our hearts open and gratitude flowing. And maybe our sense of humor handy. Happy month of Thanksgiving. Thank you, and may all of you walk in gratitude and grace today.
It's the hardest thing to... Oh, I'm sorry. Let's do it over here. I'm just going to be too high. It's too early, sorry. Much better. Sorry, guys. It's the hardest thing to give away. The last thing on your mind today. It always goes to those who don't deserve. It's the opposite of how you feel. And the pain they caused is just too real. It takes everything you have just to say the word forgiveness. Forgiveness flies in the face of all your pride, moves away the mad inside. It's always the anger's own worst enemy. Even when the jury and the judge say you got a right to hold a grudge, it's the whisper in your ear saying, set it free. Forgiveness. 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 Show me how to love the unlovable. Show me how to reach the unreachable. Hear me now to do the impossible. Forgiveness. Forgiveness. It'll clear the bitterness away, can even set a prisoner free. There's no end to what its power can do. So let it go and be amazed by what you see through the eyes of grace. The prisoner that it really frees is you. Forgiveness. 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 Oh, show me how to love the unlovable. Show me how to reach the unreachable. Help me now to do the impossible. Forgiveness. 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 Show me how to reach the unreachable. Show me how to love the unlovable. Show me now to do the impossible. Yeah, yeah. Forgiveness. Forgiveness.
Yes, we talked beforehand. So we have some announcements. Thank you to all who came out for last night's Harvest Festival. It was fabulous. It was a great evening of community and fun. Many thanks to the planning committee who worked so hard for this event. Starting today, the giving bags are in Sparks Hall. Decorate and donation table will be up. Participation in annual sharing of blessing bags to hand out to the unhoused by bringing in suggested hygiene items and socks and things like that. decorate a bag in Sparks Hall throughout the rest of November and the first 2 weeks in December. And we thank you for your participation in helping us bless the community. And we also have food, bringing in food. Beverly does that. Saturday, November 15th from 2 to 4, a beauty pop-up event will take place in Sparks Hall. Come and pamper yourself with a free mini facial before the busiest of the holiday season. To RSVP prior to the event, contact Danny at the church office at 818-363-8136. Save the date, November 26th, an Attitude of Gratitude Thanksgiving Eve service will take place. Reverend Dr. Mike will lead this evening event, joined by staff ministers and CSLGH practitioners. Come share the good. Now our gratitude box, Jennifer. She forgot she had it.
Okay. It says, I am grateful for friends.
Nice and simple. And now we'll say our Declaration of Principle. How many of you know it without it being up there? No. We believe in one universal spirit manifesting through all, natural and incarnated in us. We believe that the universal spirit is personal to and reveals itself through everyone who recognizes its presence. We believe that our faith operates upon a law of mind, which automatically manifests in our experience according to that faith. We believe in the unity of all life and the immortality of the individual soul forever expanding. We believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the givingness of life to all.
Y'all sing with me now. Heaven's inside of me. Heaven's inside of me. Oh, a spirit in nature, within and without. Now that I know that God's right here, right now. Heaven's inside of me. Heaven's inside of you. Heaven's inside of you. Oh, a spirit in nature, within and without. Now that I know that God's right here, right now. Heaven's inside of you. Heaven's inside of us. Heaven's inside of us. Oh, a spirit in nature, within and without. Now that I know that God's right here, right now. Heaven's inside of us. Heaven's inside of us. Heaven's inside of us.
So that was Teresa James, everyone. And Ginny, nice job. Let's give Ginny some love too, shall we? My favorite stories are the ones where we tell on ourselves, right? And the solution is in place. And just, to me, that's like a victory for all of us, right? So nice job. I too want to add my own voice to those who thanked everyone. for the fall gathering last night. The music really was fantastic, and I have to say I'm always skeptical when I get recommendations for music, right? Yeah. And Maureen tried to explain what it was like, but it really is hard to explain what it was like because it was a very diverse but very melodic evening, and 3-part harmonies, and lots of guitars, and anyway, it was really a nice evening. And boy, they sure love you, Teresa. I know. Yeah. So who doesn't, right? And it was good to see Terry, your husband, here. For that matter, it was good to see Mrs. Rev here, too. Yeah, so I really am married. So I tried to take her around to as many of the new folks as possible, just, wife. She lives, she breathes. Yeah, it's not just in my imagination, as it has been in days past. So anyway, it was a wonderful evening. And there is a kind of magic. There is a kind of magic whenever an event like this is put on. For those of us like myself who just show up on time, there's this transformation that takes place here at the center. Whether it's in the sanctuary, you see a little bit of it in the hallway, in the lobby. So by the way, avail yourself of everything that Danny said. Danny put all that together so you can get a nice fall photograph. Take your phone and take a photograph of yourself. And the Sparks Hall, and even outside where the awning is, right? That it's all transformed from the ordinary to the extraordinary by the many hands that prepared the way for us to participate and enjoy the evening. And then, of course, it's for someone who's in leadership. I know, not just me, but I know Beverly, Danny, Dr. Maureen feel this way as well, that it's very heartwarming to see the many hands that go into putting these things together, and Ginny as well. That there's a resonance in the community, and for myself, the resonance of seeing new servant leaders stepping up and seeing that people respond to their leadership also. So it's a little different than being in the office or being on the job or owning your own company, right? That because this is a place where we set the intention to create harmonious gathering experiences, which offices would also like to have, but it doesn't often work that way. It helps if everybody's being paid to be nice, right? But it doesn't, it's a group of volunteers, it mostly is that way. So these, I'm bringing all this up because it is in keeping with our talk title this morning, this idea of beneathness, the beneathness, which is we're speaking to this loving the unlikable throughout the month. I'll sort of touch on that. What the octopus has to do with that, no clue. But we'll see how the month unfolds. Maybe I'll get some download yet. See, suckers, the Spirit is sucking us all into, I don't know. So, but in this case, the beneathness, this foundation, all the work that went into this foundation for a demonstration of a wonderful gathering. And did I mention the music was amazing? So if you were here and you want to download their music, just go to theelderman.com and you'll find them on there. And I'm sure we'll have them back again. And this beneathness, the beneathness that went into the preparation of this evening, this is the art of doing, right? The art of doing. The way that we move and operate in this physical world. And there is also an art to being as well. an activity of omniscience, of omnipotence, of omnipresence, and an omni-activity, a field of activity behind all of life. But we see it nicely demonstrated in an event such as this. This idea of having a field of something going on behind reality. So this was illustrated nicely in a very entertaining way in the late 90s. For those of you who remember the movie The Matrix, right? So I tried to get the digital rain thing, but that was way beyond my tech skills. It was one of those YouTube things that said, oh, it's so easy. 30 steps later, Scott probably knows how to do it, but I was completely baffled. But it was a wonderful, wonderful movie that spoke to this idea that there's a whole nother experience behind this reality that we're living. So everybody saw The Matrix, yes? Yeah, it was really a transformative movie. And there was this little character, this little smart aleck Brit kid with the bald head, where he said, do not try to bend the spoon. That's impossible. Instead, only try to realize the truth. There is no spoon. Then you'll see that it's not the spoon that bends, it's only yourself. So, I just happen to have, yes, I happen to have a spoon today. So, just with me, use your minds, gather your energies. We just bend ourselves around the spoon. Okay, concentrate. 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 And you came here for inspiration. But that's so 90s. But I got to tell you, I remember at the time it really hit me between the eyes, and it would be within a couple of years after seeing this idea that it's, we're bending our thinking around the space around the spoon. There was something very appealing about that. I've always been very intrigued about the idea of the power of mind, whether it's paranormal activity or psychic abilities or spoon benders, right? So that was a thing, right? There was an Israeli guy who made a living doing that. I think he used real spoons, though. But when I showed up here, the first challenge, of course, when you start beginning to explore the science of mind and spirit, is to look at the ways in which we're thinking. And of course, learning the basic tenets of Buddhism are very helpful in this regard also. And we don't have to figure it out on our own, because they're pretty simple. Simple steps, simple things, simple principles to remember, but not always easy. Not always easy to express. So it can feel like we're trying to bend a spoon sometimes. But so I started paying attention to what I was thinking, What reality was I unsuccessfully trying to bend my thinking around? You might want to ask yourself that today. What are you thinking? What in your own thinking are you trying to bend reality around in some way? So then the question is, can we see that all that we are experiencing is a mental construct? It is a mental construct that we are creating for ourselves as individuals, and then we participate in creating in this collective way. a collective consciousness that we're creating this whole world of effect, co-creating together. So when we're out there looking at how awful things are, there's only one place to go to heal that stuff, right? I know, that sucks, right? Well, I'm doing my work, what about them? Yeah, well, what about them? They, too, are part of this expression. This is the thing about the pairs of opposites, right? We're working with the contrast. Why is that? Because that's what gets our attention, right? If everything was peaceful and harmonious all the time, you know, it would be nice to live in a world where we go from good to greater good, right? That'd be like every time you go to your checking account or your savings account, there's always more money. It's like somebody else is paying my bills for me, right? And the truth is, on a metaphysical level, this is available to all of us because we're working with something greater than we are. That which is infinite and inexhaustible. We can't use too much of it. We can't use more than our fair share of spiritual power. So this mental field, this mental agreement, this mental construct. Now in the movie, there's a whole computer thing that's behind reality. So human beings are actually just batteries powering the whole thing. So the idea of a reality expressing as a matrix of thought that has its basis in a universe created by supercomputers, that can't possibly happen, right? Did you check your phone today? So, it's one thing for Hollywood to give us a sense of the mystic that is ultimately a trick, right? A trick or an illusion. So, this is a plastic spoon, by the way, but it appeared to be metal, right? So, it was a trick, an illusion. But the truth is that the mystery of life is all around us should we choose to look for it. And there are things that get in the way of that, isn't there? Right? So in keeping with this idea of beneathness, there is all kinds of life going on right now under our feet that we often are not aware of. So for instance, there's a mycelia. Every aspect of soil has mycelia in it. Right, in some way. So what's mycelia? That's the root system of fungus, of mushrooms, toadstools, that kind of thing. And when they appear, they seem to appear out of nowhere. Right? So this time of year in cow pastures all over the Northwest, they're looking for a particular kind of mushroom in the cow pies. That also helps with the expansion of consciousness. So I've been told. But what I'm getting at is that biologically, the model biologically is that there's an interconnectedness of life. By design, everything is interconnected. In fact, our bodies are not individuals, but a biome of trillions of cells and organisms that we could not live a healthy life without it. That we now know there's a flora, there's a biome in our intestinal tract, within our stomachs, our esophagus, on our skin, there are helpful bacteria that keep us in shape and in good standing. And it's all working together. But we think we're an individual, but we're actually a community of individuals moving through this community of life. Now, this is particularly helpful to know, for me anyway, should we find ourselves feeling disconnected with life? Should we find ourselves with a longing for connection? But, we're just not up to the task of putting ourselves out there, right? We're just not up to it. I was telling the story of my buddy John, who lost his partner during the AIDS epidemic. And really, really a great guy. If I wasn't so straight, I would have been interested. But just a really gem of a fella. And I asked him one day, have you ever thought of getting into a relationship again? And he said, Mike, I'm just not up for the negotiation. Right? I'm not up for the negotiation. And I think in a smaller way, when it comes to expanding our life, we're just not up for the negotiation. Right? And yet it's so necessary. I'm not up for the negotiation with myself. I got everything in this neat little box. That's such a great tool. Right? There was a lot in that talk, so if you didn't, you should go back and listen to it again. Not up to the negotiation with whom? Well, ultimately with ourselves, right? Yeah. And that's where the freedom lays. People lie. That's where the freedom lies. Books lay, people lie. Okay. So a fourth grade teacher taught me that one. So perhaps feeling friendless, right? That's easy to do moving into this holiday season, right? Or maybe just simply becoming more aware of loved ones who've made their transition onto the next realm. Particularly so this time of year. And we're even more aware of that now because we just changed the clocks, right? So it's already starting to feel like darkness, and that's how it feels when we're in the bluesy kind of vibe. And intellectually, of course, we know that there's a cycle to all of it. There's a cycle to life, a yin-yang, a circulation, a cause-effect. Now, we know this intellectually, but how to shake off that old thinking and allow the heart to connect with life? And we'll go to any length sometimes to avoid the very place we need to go. The Campbell quote, that place in the heart that we're afraid to go to is where our treasure lies, right? That place within our thinking we're afraid to go to, that's where our power is. So, Dr. Maureen used to say this a lot, that we all want to be transformed, but we don't want to be inconvenienced, right? That's one of your more brilliant proclamations, by the way. And it's difficult to have a sense of community when we're in this state also. We tend to stay in the safe places, right? Both physically and psychologically, where things are familiar. Right? It's like we're in a constant state of shields up, red alert, or at least yellow alert. And the truth is that even when we're in that kind of thinking, there's still an interconnectedness going on, and an interconnectedness that's always available to us. Reflecting, I believe, the very nature of the universe itself, the living spirit itself. So we can see this interconnectedness biologically in redwoods, right? So there's this whole whole root system within redwoods, aspens, and I'm sure other organisms that I'm not aware of. I'm speaking to redwoods particularly because I've been to the Russian River, which is north of Santa Rosa. It's where the Coast Redwood Range is. The redwoods are so magnificent and significant to me personally. They're like, if I had a spirit guide, I suppose it would be a redwood tree. So I'm a tree hugger from way back. So the thing that's interesting about redwoods is that you'll sometimes find them growing in a circle, a perfect circle. And there seems to be something magical about that. That the root structure, but the truth is that it's the root structure below the surface, the beneathness, which is supporting the trees that are growing. And in fact, it's a little deeper than that. So these trees that could be 60, 70, 100 years old, growing in this perfect circle, have been nourished by the stump of an older tree, right? That has decomposed and given of itself, so that these other younger trees that started as saplings and are now full-grown adults are nourished and cared for by doing what? Extending of itself. So I wonder if evolutionarily, if that's even a word, I wonder if that's how the whole mammalian idea of nourishing the young came from this very basic idea. Now, of course, you do not need to go to the redwoods to experience connection or even this interconnectedness. So if you have a patch of lawn nearby, this interconnectedness is right there. So sometime, if in the next few months, if you do find yourself feeling a little down or a little low, or you want to just experience some vitality of life, just find yourself a bit of lawn. It could be your neighbor's lawn if they have a nicer lawn than yours. It wouldn't matter. So just go to the lawn, slip off your shoes, and allow yourself a moment, a few moments of connection with life. Right? Imagine yourself. In fact, let's just do this together. So just close your eyes and take a wee breath. Feel the release, the movement of the breath outside and on an inhale. And just imagine yourself at this patch of lawn, and you're slipping out of your shoes and you're walking onto the lawn, just a step or two. And then you allow yourself a breath, an inhale and an exhale. Just to use the breath to allow yourself to be fully present, bringing your awareness to the grass under your feet, bringing your awareness to the beneathness of the earth under the grass. And allow yourself to feel nourished. Allow your soul to reach down into the very earth and connect with the interconnectedness of life. Allow yourself to feel nourished in the moment, because you are. Connected with the feeling of interfacing with the beneathness of life as grass under your feet. And just breathe here a bit. Feel the inhale, the exhale, the entire life cycle of the grass witnessed through the soles of your feet, reaching to the soul of your being. Take a breath. And so even in this imaginary expression, see if your mood has shifted just a bit. Now this interconnectedness, as it happens, shows up throughout all human experience, seen in our biology. So we have these root systems. Here's an actual tree. A river delta, right? The Fibonacci sequence, right? Where all our hair and the kernels on a cob of corn are all growing in this direction to a divine pattern, right? That's uniform. And I suspect that if we ever make it out to the farthest reaches, we'll probably find these things expressing there. Even there. That it turns out there's even a matrix in space now that they know. That there's a mycelia of dark matter and dark energy interconnecting the entire universe, which is a pretty wild thought. But I'm saying this to see that we need only look at the very life on which we are sharing to see a reflection of how the divine shows itself into the universe. So the interconnectedness shows up throughout human experience if we're willing to look for it. So I suspect that Ginny is going to come back here in about 3 months and talk about this gigantic insight that she's had just by releasing this one aspect of thought. Right? What are we going to do? She's shown us the way. What are we going to do? What are we now willing to let go of? What are we now willing to surrender? I have come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. But what? Guess what? Knock, and I shall enter. But we have to knock on heaven's door, so to speak. So everything, Holmes wrote this also. Oh, by the way, this is what your brain looks like on an electron microscope. It's all a huge interconnected mash. So if you're feeling confused, now you know why. No, but the way it works, though, is in with a perfect synchronization. And again, I just think it's all a reflection of the way the divine is working, because we keep learning more and more and more about it. So I wanted to say this from Ernest Holmes, that everything that exists is a manifestation of the divine mind, but the divine mind, being inexhaustible and limitless, is never caught in any form. Right? So stuff arises, then it breaks down, it reforms, it shows up as something else. It just takes time. But you know, when you are eternal, what's time? Right? So there's a piece that I take from this knowledge, from the idea of, from the Buddhist idea of impermanence. So, you know, this is really great. Well, that's going to pass. This too shall pass. Oh, this really blows. This too shall pass. Right? But we do have to let go, right? There's a reason why they say let go and let God. Right? Because the spirit can't fill the void if we're holding on to old stuff, particularly the old stuff that no longer serves us, eh? So when feeling stuck or disconnected from the miracle of life, this is from Mark Nepo. Try to listen, to see, to feel, and just take it in. This is what reality is right now. Let me just breathe into it. Mark says, try to let the energies of life stir their counterpoints within us. In order to be whole, Mark says, suspend your criticism. Right? He could say, suspend your resentment. For life is not a matter of taste, but of awakening. Not a matter of finding things pleasing or disturbing, but of finding things completing. Not a matter of liking or disliking, but the opening, the geography of one's soul. So what creates that opening is the surrender, the letting go, the being present to what is, so that we can have a greater expression of life. So the Spirit, who so loved itself that it created you, every one of you, me too, and everyone else, so that it might have an expression of itself by means of you, by means of its creation. surrender. Let it go.
Surrender. Let it go. Surrender. Let it all go. All the fears and the doubts, all the pain, all the wounds, the feeling of being outside. Surrender. Let it go. Surrender. Let it all go. All the shame and the guilt, all the blame. Let it go. Don't you know God is here? Don't you know God is here? Don't you know God is here? Let it go. Open your heart. Let in the light. Open your mind. Surrender. Let it go. Surrender. Just let it all go. Don't you know God is here? Don't you know God is here? Don't you know God is here? Just let it all go.
So taking a breath in this moment, feeling the interconnectedness of life coursing through this very moment, we surrender old ways of thinking that no longer serve us. We let go. We let go of even the minutest thread that's keeping us tied to old thought forms, to old ways of living, to old ways of seeing the world, to old ways of seeing separateness, to old ways of seeing discord, and instead stepping into this moment, knowing that the living Spirit is alive and well in the soul of me, that the living Spirit is alive and well in the soul of all beings. And so we know this truth for ourselves. We know this truth for others. We know this truth with those with whom we appear to be in discord with. That we know the inexhaustible, infinite supply of the Most High is infusing us even now with the power, the presence, the love of the Most High, healing those and harmonizing those aspects of discord that are now resonating and made whole and ringing a joyful sound with the heavenly host, the universe itself. And we are just simply allowing it to be. Allowing it to be. We surrender. We let go. We claim this moment of peace, of harmony, of love and connection as our own to all of life. The life of the divine, which is our life now. And so it is. Teresa James, everyone. All right, so let's see if I can get through the next moment or two. Is it time for the offering, right? So if you want to bring the offering basket up, for those, if you've come prepared with an offering this morning, just make your way forward as we sing our offering song. For those of you joining us online, if you could make your way to the donation portal, that would be lovely.
And y'all can sing if you want. Come on.
Spirit
gives through me. Spirit receives through me. Spirit lives and breathes through me. Spirit lives and breathes through me. Spirit gives through us. Spirit receives through us. Spirit lives and breathes through us. Spirit lives and breathes through
All right, so going within for just a moment longer as we recognize that this basket represents both the generous heart of the individual and the receptive heart of this spiritual community. The generous heart of that individual who knows and knows that they know that God is our source, our substance, our supply. And so we receive these gifts now as spiritual community by whatever avenue your generosity finds its way through the center, through online giving, through the mail, through the offering here this morning. That we know together that these gifts go forth to heal, to prosper, to bless. Not only anyone connected to this center, but the vision and mission of this center as well, and anyone connected to it. And from this place of gratitude, we extend a gratitude blessing upon our community of Granada Hills, our city of Los Angeles, our state of California, our United States of America, all of its churches, temples, mosques, schools, universities, the people who attend them, the people who support them. That we know in some wonderfully crazy, mysterious, mystic kind of way that the living Spirit itself is expressing and impressing itself in, through, and as all life, in, through, and as our life. And to the extent that we know this to be so, we see its clear and easily definable expression in ways great and small. This lifts our hearts. We feel a sense of grace and power that propel us into ways of spiritual living that raise not only our own life, but the lives of those around us as well. And that's a good thing. And together we can acknowledge this by saying, and so it is. So, let's give some more love to Teresa James, please.
By the way, I put a little notice on the wall about my shows with my band this month, because a lot of you expressed interest. So.
Yeah, good. I'm glad you took a moment. All right, so you heard that, right? For those of you at home, there's she's playing around town, so check it out. All right. She and her band are playing around town. Okay, and so thank you all for being here this morning. Let's get Ginny up here. Nice job today, Ginny. And pray us out. And we'll see you all next week.
Okay, thank you. Let's go back inside that sacred place for just a few more minutes and know that there's only one loving and forgiving and omnipresent power, and that we are part of that power. That power runs through us as us, and that let's have an experience this week beyond what we expect. Let's pay attention to our thinking. Let's trust the power of love that grows beneath the surface and know how to heal from the inside. And so I am thankful for this community and thankful for Reverend Mike, and what he just said today was wonderful. And so I release this word to the law that knows exactly what to do. And I let go and let God, as together we say, and so it is. And now we're going to sing our song. Circle, please.
Yeah, you want to join in the circle. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our power, united all are we. Let us walk with each other